Hello students, the next topic in your books is experimental verification of Ohm's law. According to the reduced syllabus given by the council due to COVID-19, this is reduced in the further reduction of ICSE 10th syllabus. But we will just discuss the circuit diagram used for the experimental verification of Ohm's law. In this diagram you see all the components which are connected in series. You just note down, one is battery, then key, then resistance, then ammeter, then there is a rheostat. All these components, 5 components, are in series. While drawing such a circuit or while connecting in such a way, you can always interchange the position of the components which are in series, but they are always connected end to end, that is, they are in series. I want to tell you that the polarity of ammeter, positive negative, is taken care while connecting with the battery. Positive of the battery is connected with the positive of the ammeter, negative of the battery is connected with the negative terminal of the ammeter. Rest of the components, resistance wire, rheostat and key, they do not have any positive or negative. The next, voltmeter, it is the only component, it is the only device which is connected in parallel, and because we want to find out the unknown resistance here, so it is connected in parallel with that resistance, again taking care of positive and negative terminals of the voltmeter towards the positive and negative of the battery. I am just telling you this for your information. Don't ask me ki this will come in the paper or not. Council has reduced this, but for your knowledge you should know how to connect the circuit for the verification of Ohm's law. Next topic here in the syllabus is VI graph. This I have discussed in my previous video, and after that we discussed ohmic and non-ohmic resistors. Today's topic is the factors affecting resistance of a conductor. So there are 4 factors which affect the resistance of a conductor, and before discussing this I want to revise once again what is the resistance of a conductor. Resistance is the obstruction offered to the flow of current in the wire. So all the factors should be learned keeping that thing in mind. So the 4 factors affecting the resistance of a wire or of a conductor are: number 1, material. So dependence of resistance of the conductor on the material of the wire means that good conductors will have less resistance as compared to the insulators or the bad conductors. So good conductors are the substances which have free electrons in them. So due to the free electrons, presence of more free electrons in them, their resistance is less as compared to the other materials like insulators. So this is the first factor. Number 2 is length. So resistance directly proportional to length of the wire. More the length of the wire, more will be the resistance. This thing can be taken as such. The obstructions, more the collisions, more will be the more the length of the wire, more will be the collisions, so more will be the obstructions and more will be the resistance of the wire. So it is directly proportional to the length of the wire. Reason being, the electrons will suffer more collisions. Third point is resistance depends upon the thickness. And how does it depend upon the thickness? More the thickness of the wire, more will be the area of cross section. Thicker wires will have more area of cross section, so less will be the resistance. Reason being, once provided potential difference, more electrons from that cross sectional area will drift, so it means more current will be constituted. That's why there will be lesser resistance of the thicker wires as compared to the thin wires. So from the second point we get this relation that R is inversely proportional to A. From this relation, concept based questions can be asked what happens if a wire doubles on itself? What happens to the resistance of a wire if it is doubled on itself? Means if it is folded like this, what will happen to its area of cross section? Area of cross section will be doubled. So in that case, resistance will be proportional to twice the previous area. That is, it will become half the initial value. So in such cases, you will answer like this. Similarly, if it is tripled on itself, then the area will be 3 times the previous area. And similarly, the opposite questions are asked. If the resistance, what will be the resistance if the wire is stretched to twice its length? If length becomes 2 times, then area also gets decreased. It will become a thinner wire. Then the new area will be equal to half of the previous area. So in that case, the resistance will be proportional to L dash upon A dash, and L dash will be 2L and A dash will be A by 2. So the resistance, new resistance will be proportional to 4L by A. That is, it will be equal to 4 times the previous resistance. So in such cases, you have to take care of both the factors. Now the last factor is temperature. Temperature of the conductor. Now if you increase the temperature of a conductor, what will happen? The random motion of the electrons will increase. They will get thermal velocities. That's why their collisions will increase. So with the increase in temperature, the resistance also increase. That's why a filament bulb is having more resistance when it is hot, means when it is glowing, means when current is passed through it, than when it is cold or when no current is passing through it. So such kind of question can also be asked. See, this point is given here in the books. So a question can be asked from this point also. Then there is a discussion that, see here a graph has been given, V upon I, V versus I graph of the same conductor but at 2 different temperatures. So because we know that slope of a VI graph gives us resistance. So if temperature T1 is more than T2, it means that this graph is depicting that this line is having more slope than this line, V line. It means that the resistance of the conductor at T1 temperature is more than that at T2 temperature. So let's talk about the resistance once again. Combining these two relations, we get R proportional to L by A. When we remove the sign of proportionality, a constant is introduced. This constant is a Greek letter which is read as rho, and it signifies specific resistance of the material of the wire. Specific resistance of the material of the wire. Right. So what is specific resistance? I can say that specific resistance can be defined from this relation. If I substitute length of the wire as 1 meter, area of cross section pi r square is equal to 1. 1 means any unit, in any units 1 meter square if I am defining it in SI. Then the resistance R will numerically come equal to rho. It means I can define rho from this fact that rho, or the resistivity, it is also called resistivity. The resistivity or specific resistance of a wire, of a material of a wire, is equal to its resistance if the length of the wire is taken as unit and the area of cross section is also unit area. You can see in the books, specific resistance of a material is the resistance of a wire of that material of unit length and unit area of cross section. Then comes the units of specific resistance. Again from the same formula, R is equals to rho L by A. Rho comes out R A upon L. Substituting the units of R, area and length, you get the units of rho as ohm meter. Then, as we have read the factors affecting resistance, there are factors affecting specific resistance or resistivity also. So first of all, specific resistance is the characteristic property of the material. Again, the same kind of factor has been given, that specific resistance of a substance is its characteristics property. So it is different for different substances. It is low for good conductors, it is high for insulators, and for semiconductors its value is in between the values of metals, alloys and insulators. So it's having low value for metals and alloys which are good conductors, low for semiconductors and very high for insulators. You can see positive indices have been given for insulators. Then this table has been given. You just have to keep it in mind that low for metals, high for semiconductors and very high for insulators. No need to cram these values. Second factor on which specific resistance depends is its temperature. It increases with the increase in temperature for metals. Earlier we have talked about the factors of the resistance of the wire or a conductor. Here we are discussing the specific resistance of all the materials in general. So the metal's resistivity increases with temperature, but for alloys, for some alloys like concentum, manganese, it remains constant with the temperature. This is the reason alloys are used to make resistance wires. And for semiconductors also, the resistivity with the increase in temperature it decreases. It has been given for the semiconductors also. Before I proceed, I discuss this paragraph which is given in the note also. It is this repetition of the thing that what happens to the resistance or resistivity of the wire when the wire is stretched 4 times, 2 times, 3 times, or it is doubled on itself, tripled on itself, or it is cut into half. So all that discussion has been given here, which may be asked in the form of a 2-mark question, reason based question. If such a question comes in the paper, you may answer it with the help of some numerical calculations also, or if it is if you can explain it in words also, you can answer it in both the ways. I am reading this paragraph for you. The specific resistance of a material of the conductor at a given temperature is constant and it doesn't depend upon the shape and size of the conductor. So this is the difference of specific resistance with resistance also, that resistance depends upon length and area of cross section, but specific resistance is the intrinsic property of the material of the conductor or the wire. It does not depend upon shape and size of the conductor. Then it is evident from the equation number 8.16 he is referring, where the formula of resistance was given, R is equals to rho L by pi R square. So it is evident that if you stretch the wire and such that its length doubles, the area will get half. We have discussed this case right now, right? Since the volume remains unchanged, now the resistance increases to 4 times in this case.